Okay. Test, test, test. Let's see. Let's go to this screen. There we go. Let me turn off, or at least turn down the music for a second. Hello, hello. Wrong thing. There we go. Hello. No audio. What? Wait, you can't hear me? Or there's no... Oh. That's weird. That's strange. Because it's showing on my microphone that it's picking it up. Are you sure it's not just you, Scott? Okay. I was gonna say, I'm like, wait. It's showing it. Yeah, sure you do. Okay. Yeah, sure. Yeah, last time we finished the case where Susato-san was pretending to be a boy and, was defending her friend. And it had to do with the case, the lady who had murdered Dr. Wilson from the previous game, was she herself murdered by a, newspaper dude. So that's fun. And now we are with Mr. Natsumi. This is actually a case that happened, I think, right after the original case with Mr. Natsumi involving Miss Green, where she was stabbed in the back, but she was fine. She's alive, luckily. She is fine. But this time, Mr. Natsumi has yet another issue in which his downstairs neighbor was found dead. Quote, dead. And it seemed like he was poisoned. However, his neighbor and friend was not actually dead. He came back to life. He popped up. And it was very weird. That's about it. So we gotta figure out what happened. I think we did some investigating and stuff last time. But, yeah. Okay. I'm gonna bring up the game. Let me turn the music off. Da-da-da. Go to this screen. Yay, here we go. Okay, I think we're still investigating, if I remember. Clouded Kokoro. Nope, okay, so we're about to go to trial. Okay, that's good. I'll definitely have to review all the evidence we have, because I don't really remember. I look at the court record, thank you. Okay. Second-hand book receipt. Right, so this had to do with that there were 3 books found in the victim's room that were the same 3 books that Mr. Natsumi had gotten from the secondhand bookshop. That was also related to the past original thing. Street map, your books. Okay, that has to do with also that previous trial, but it's also just like letting us know where things are. We found this torn off end of an envelope. We have not found the other piece of it, or know what the envelope was about. There was some bars of soap. A cheap bar of soap that was discovered just outside of Spear's window. It's one of two that were found there. Right, yeah. And also there's like a weird indent here, which I don't remember. This bar of soap. When we first found it, I could have sworn there was some sort of round disc in this depression just here, a reddish one. Yeah, there was. There was something here. Yes, you're right. I remember too. But now the depression is completely empty. Where could the disc have gone? Okay. The little reddish medallion from the center has mysteriously vanished. Okay. So I'm guessing the red medallion thing was like, some kind of branding thing, I think? Okay. And there were multiple things of this soap. And then the 2 teacups we got from the scene. Oh, interesting. So only the purple one, which, was the one that the victim, we think, drank from. Only that one has a ring of tea in it. This must be the cup that Mr. Shamspear was drinking from. It's stained on the inside. The tea does that, I'm afraid, even green tea. Oh, really? I've never noticed before. You've never noticed? Well, I never leave it in the cup long enough to leave a mark. I like to gulp it down. Drink tea while it's hot. That's the Japanese way, isn't it? That is actually true, yes. You drink particularly green tea while it's really hot. Which I can't do it. I can't. It's one time it was like there was like a Japanese like little fair thing we had at the high school, and there was a person who made green tea, and for some reason my green tea that she made was way too hot that it hurt for me to hold. Like it was too hot. I was like, I feel very disrespectful because I'm not really drinking the tea, but I'm like, this tea is way too hot. I can't even hold it. I can't drink it. If I can't even hold it, I don't think it's safe for me to drink. Anyway. Oh dear, so many people seem to have the wrong idea about our culture. And most of them are Japanese. Really? That's interesting. Cold tea is gross, unless it's lemon iced tea. It depends on the kind of tea. I do like kind of like I'll get like boba teas. Just like the flavored teas and stuff. I really like those. And those are really nice. Like having it super cold. Those are very refreshing. So let's see here. This is teacup from which Mr. Natsumi was drinking. Yes, unlike the other one, the inside of this cup is completely clean. I suppose he must have drank the contents before the tea had a chance to leave a mark. I always gulp it down too. Sorry, Mr. Naruto? Well, if you just sip it little by little, it goes cold. Clearly, I shall have to instruct you in the proper way to take tea. Okay. Okay, anything else about these teacups? Don't think so. Nothing else sticks out. Okay. Is boba tea really tea? I think so. There's like tea in it. There's like milk tea, so it's tea, and then there's with milk. I don't get the tapioca balls. I don't really like those. I usually get the like little popping boba things where it's basically just like little flavored little things. I don't know. They're little bubbles. They're like little bubbles, and you have those, and it has a different flavor and stuff when they pop. But yeah, I guess it is sort of very, particularly if you have like the milk tea with the tapioca. That yeah, I guess you could think of it as a dessert, but like, whatever. You could say that most like, I don't know, like fancy, like Starbucks coffee stuff could be considered also just desserts because they have a bunch of just mixtures of stuff in it. Mind you, I do like those. I do like the like crazy mixed up stuff, but they're basically desserts. But you drink the things you want to drink. Don't let people tell you you can or cannot. You do whatever you want. Anyway, 22nd February, 9:23 a.m. The Old Bailey Defendant's Antechamber. The Old Bailey. This place always makes me feel strange. I seem to get chills down my spine and break out in a nervous sweat at the same time. Well, I didn't think I'd be back here so soon. That's my line! Yep, Mr. Natsumi. I don't even remember how to do this, but good morning! I always like do weird, just like because that's how I always feel like. I feel like his voice is always just like going crazy. Good morning, Mr. Natsumi. It was only 2 days ago, and I was declared not guilty here. Yes, we somehow managed to prove he didn't stab Miss Green in the back. But now this, another morning, another murder, and here I am again in this hell. Can't keep coming through court. I can't do his voice. I kind of do like an old man voice, even though he's not supposed to be old, but he just looks really tired. I'm beginning to think he's right. It really does seem as though he's cursed. Mr. Naruhodo, I'm afraid I have some bad news. Oh. Mr. Natsumi, good morning. Yes, good morning. So, here we are again. Yes, again. It's awkward. Journalist and Miss Miko Tama, Domo Esquires. What's the bad news? Oh dear, you heard, did you? If you come in shouting at the top of your voice, people can't help hearing what you say. Oh, I'm so sorry. You've done nothing wrong, Miss Susato. Now, what is it? Well, it seems that the prosecution in today's trial will be led by Lord Baruch von Zieks. Ben Zieks? Oh no. Oh no. Oh no. Mr. Vampire Man, so-called Reaper of the Bailey, the most legendary prosecutor in the land. So Tataro's back. She is, sort of. This is in the past. This is after, in the first game, after the first trial that happened with Mr. Susato. This happened like a day after. In the trial 2 days ago, he pursued Soseki-san and I relentlessly. Of course, by the skin of our teeth. We managed to pull through, but still, yeah, fun. Perhaps Mr. Natsumi's acquittal in the last trial wasn't the end of the matter after all. Yes, I know what you're thinking. The legend of the Reaper that says nothing can save a person in the dock when Lord Van Zieks is the prosecutor. Oh no. That even if that person is found not guilty, the accused will meet a mysterious end one way or another. And we've experienced it firsthand. Yeah, with a man we successfully defended met the most terrifying end after his acquittal, right here in the Old Bailey, which we then found out was Mr. The son of Mason Thrice Fired, who Mr. McGilded had murdered in that very carriage. Or omnibus? Yeah. Do I have to put up with those ice cold eyes pouring into my soul again? Cursed by evil spirits and now by the Reaper! Pair of penetrating pairs, potentially! Hello, welcome to the stream. Well, if it's potentially, at least you appear to have hope, Mr. Natsumi. Look up, student! Miss Naruto Esquire. Yes. I'm innocent. You have to believe me. You more than anyone now. Don't worry. I'll be your steadfast ally every step of the way in this battle, I promise. And this promises to be a hard battle, I fear. Yeah, it's gonna be difficult. Well, the trial is scheduled to begin shortly. We should move into the courtroom. Let's go. Oh yes, I forgot to say, I'm afraid he won't be able to make it. Mr. Sholmes, I mean. That's probably for the best. Oh. If he were here, I might be tempted to rely on his help. And that could be seen as a weakness. If Lord Van Zieks were to notice, he'd prey on it mercilessly. At least, that's my gut feeling. Mr. Naruto. You're right. Yes, you're right. You're so right. Oh, sad locum student Mr. Naruto Esquire. How sad. I swear on the sword at my side and on the spirit of Kazuma that it harbors. I'll show him what a Japanese lawyer can do. I'll set you free, with honor. Oh, yes. Alright. 22nd February, 9:40 a.m., the Old Bailey courtroom. But hey. I saw some familiar faces again as a jury. Trying to do good old Santa Claus voice for this judge. In the name of Her Majesty, the Queen, I hereby declare this court to be in session. I now call upon the counsels for the prosecution and defense to declare their willingness to proceed. The prosecution is ready. The defense is ready, my lord. Readiness for the trial, my learned Neopanese friend, is not what the defense needs. What you need is readiness for your inevitable defeat. It's not just in my imagination, it's really there. Lord Van Zieks has such an animosity towards us Japanese for some reason. It was some time ago, now that he first became known as the Reaper of the Bailey, I believe. These past few years, he hasn't appeared in court at all. Yet now he's back in the courtroom, though for some reason, only when I'm defending. This Reaper, with his curious disdain for us Japanese, is a prosecutor shrouded in mystery. Still, this isn't the time to be pondering that. I have to concentrate on Suzuki-san's trial. Furthermore, I now call upon the 6 ladies and gentlemen of the jury. You have been chosen at random to represent the will of the people in this trial. Are you ready to fulfill your duty? Oh gosh, this guy again. Oh gosh, okay, so this guy, wasn't he a witness and already on the jury once? Absolutely, I had a feeling this American wasn't innocent before. And she was a juror before too, I swear. And this guy, yeah, he's been a juror. I must say that I feel especially ruthless on days when my hat refuses to sit right. Oh, well, rather like how you're wearing your hat. I think the ruthless look is very fetching, actually. This is a new character. I need to be somewhere at 10 o'clock. I have a very important meeting. Let's make this quick. We got this guy too. I couldn't agree more. I need to take home 5 bulbs tonight or the missus will go through the roof. Isn't this guy a doctor? Is this the surgeon dude? Oh, may the Lord show us all the light here and lead us to righteous fruit. The British jury system is so very different in to our own, isn't it? Yeah, it's the doc in plainclothes. Yeah. Or just the same character mode. It's the same person. Cause, okay, the dude next to the doctor dude was talking about how he needs to earn money for his home, I guess. And he was talking about that the last time he was also on the jury as well, basically saying like being stuck doing jury duty is getting in the way of him being able to make a living. I think he was a construction dude, actually, who actually helped explain things from the last trial with Mr. Natsumi. Because there was a discussion about the map, saying that there was, like, construction going on this street. Yeah. Okay, interesting. It's quite extraordinary to think that the power of judgment is in the hands of 6 members of the public, and that the judge can only pass sentence when all jurors are in agreement about the defendant's guilt. 6 citizens of London chosen at random? Or at least, that's the idea. Yeah, they're not really random. Prosecutions would draw attention to the fact that the accused was on trial here but 2 days ago. Accordingly, where possible, the same jurors have been asked to return for duty today. Ah, okay, I was gonna say, I'm like, this seems way too many the same. Very well, let's commence the trial. Doesn't that, wait, that's super not, that's not okay. You can't use the same jury. So he tried to get the same jury. Besides for that one lady. Yeah, I think all the other ones are the same. But this is a very separate case. I don't know about this. Seems a little fishy. Very well, let's commence the trial. Lord Van Zix, opening statement, please. Ladies and gentlemen of the jury, it is not the intent of the prosecution to cast doubt of your past decision. However, the innocent verdict afforded to this eccentric Neoponese before has had dire consequences. Did the accused repent for his wrongdoing in that affair? Far from it. Instead, he used his freedom to perpetrate a most blood-curdling crime. Namely, that of the attempted murder of his neighboring lodger, an innocent Englishman. Okay. He didn't do any wrongdoing in the first place. He's throwing a lot of shade and a lot of like already leaning on his side, which is very unfair. To explain the circumstances of the crime, the prosecution calls its first witness to the stand. The detective responsible for investigating the scene and the accused himself. Okay. So Detective Grayson and Mr. Natsumi. Witnesses, your names and occupations, please. Yes, sir. Tobias Gregson, Detective Inspector at Scotland Yard's Homicide Division. Suseki Natsumi from the Empire of Japan. My government ordered me to come here as a student, study your language and culture. Mr. Natsumi. Yes, my lord, yes, sir. I'm quite sure I'm not mistaken. You swear I know never to set foot in my courtroom again. I remember it as if it were yesterday. Actually, it was 2 days ago. The day before, in fact, my lord, but close enough. Oh, believe me, This is the last place I want to be. Inspector, let's hear from you first. Explain the case for the court. Right you are, sir. The incident occurred at the Gildepp household where the defendant has lodgings. In the ground floor room of the victim, Mr. William Shakespeare. The defendant is already admitted to visiting the victim on the night in question. Mr. Shakespeare collapsed in his room as a result of poisoning by strychnine. It was found the following morning when the landlord, suspecting something was wrong, broke the door down. This means I presume that the door to the victim's room was locked at the time of the incident. Correct, my lord. It was locked from the inside, making entry to or exit from the room impossible. Although the victim, Mr. Shakespeare, lives to tell, he very nearly didn't. The man was halfway to heaven when we first found him. I was the first officer on the scene, my lord, and I have photographic printing, and I took the time to show how it looked. Okay. Interesting. Okay. So we know that you have to put a coin into this thing in order to get gas to get through, but that looks like a spill. So did some gas spill? Also, why was there soap? Why was there soap on the plate? Why does he have soap on his table? A lot of questions. Why don't even know why the soap was cut? Do we know? We don't. It was cut in half. There had to have been something in the soap. Right? There had to have been some secret stuff going on with those soaps. Yes, a chilling scene indeed. The man looks very much deceased. That's right, everyone present believed that's exactly what he was. Very well, I shall accept this photograph as evidence for the court. Crime photograph. It's under the court record. Okay, can I look at that, please? Please? No, Mr. Natsume, but I don't want to look at this, please. I want to... Now, there's a spill there. There's this hole here. Okay. Now then, Mr. Natsume. Yes. As the defendant, do you have anything to say at this juncture? Haunted by evil spirits. Good gracious! What's haunted? My lodgings! There's been a whole series of strange happenings in my lodgings. The tenant before me died in mysterious circumstances. A woman was stabbed by no one on the street outside. Oh, we need to find out about that. The tenant before me died in mysterious circumstances. We don't know anything about that. How did this person die? Do we have anything about that? You know, okay, so on the Miss Olive Green was outside. I never was poisoned. What about me? I've nearly been killed countless times. Killed, Mr. Natsume? How? Even on that fateful night it happened when I returned from Mr. Shakespeare's room. I lit my gas stove and climbed to bed, but before long, the stove went out, and somebody tried to kill me. You must have always extinguished all fires before time for the night, Mr. Matsume. It's so cold. My runny nose would freeze. The point is, I didn't poison my neighbor. Oh, why am I being accused of this? Why is my existence so cursed? Thank you, witnesses. I believe I have a reasonably clear picture of events. If I could raise one more point, my lord. One more conclusive point. Conclusive? Go on. Fortunately, the victim, Mr. Shamspeare, has regained consciousness after his ordeal, and he has named the true culprit. Oh, shit. We're fucked. He has memory issues. Yeah. I don't. And before he has memory issues? I don't remember. I have memory issues. The poison consumed by the victim was administered in a cup of tea that he drank on the night in question. Tea, my lord, that was brought to the victim's room by the accused. The accused? Good grief! Ah, fuck. Order! Yes, that's the crux of this whole case. If Saseki-san is innocent, then why? Why was the victim accused him? Well, Mr. Natsume, what have you to say to this accusation? That evening, yes, I did take some freshly brewed tea with me when I visited Mr. Shishir's room as a gift. Public water pump outside always freezes at night, so I brought bottled water especially to make it. And this is the result. Never will I touch tea again. Never. The public pump was frozen, you say? That's not information we've heard before. That will do, thank you. Now, according to our laws, the defense must have the opportunity to cross-examine witnesses at least once. I'm already yawning. Therefore, I call upon these witnesses now for a formal testimony. I assume the prosecution has no objection. None whatsoever, my lord. Good. Then you will give your accounts of events on the night in question to the court now. Yes, my lord. The catastrophic night. It was around 9 o'clock that evening when I visited my neighbor, and I took some tea with me as a gift. We had a heated literary debate over a nice drink, after which I went back to my room at around 11. My tea was completely harmless. He couldn't have locked the door behind me otherwise, could he? Strike 9? Is it Strike 9? Or is it Strike Gene? I have no idea. We'll look it up. I am not familiar with this. Strike Neen. Okay, Strike Neen. What is strychnine? Bitter poisonous alkaloid. Okay. Colorless crystalline poison. From a seed of a plant. Okay. So, strychnine. Oh, wrong thing. Strychnine takes some time to have an effect on the body. People don't keel over immediately after taking it. The victim would have been perfectly able to lock the door after his guest left. The argument still stands. Great. Yes, I see. It all seems relatively straightforward. Excuse me, but that testimony does raise one rather crucial point, I think. Mr. Natsumi claims his tea to have been harmless, presumably, though. The teacups have been examined for traces of the poisons, haven't they? Why didn't I think of that? Well, as it happens, no, we haven't been able to. Did I hear you correctly, Inspector? Scotland Yard has failed to examine the suspicious substance. How could you have overlooked something so important? Isn't it the first thing you should have done? My learned Japanese friend is falsely incensed. The inspector said Scotland Yard was unable to examine the tea. Not that it was overlooked. Unable? Why? Simple enough, there was none left. Not a drop. Someone must have been very thirsty indeed. With current scientific techniques, it's not possible to test for poison under such circumstances. We only need a drop, but that one drop does actually have to exist, funnily enough. Okay, that brings some questions. Because the teacup that has the ring in it, the stain, would make you think that the person who drank that tea drank it very slowly. Compared to the other cup, which was Mr. Natsumi's, didn't have any sort of stain on it. So you would guess then Mr. Natsumi drank it quite quickly. So based on that, you would think that Mr. Natsumi would be the one who would have drank all of the tea, most of the tea at least. Okay, interesting. Lack of examination notwithstanding. It was nothing other than the tea past the victim's lips on the night in question. I see. The matter is clear. Cast your eyes over the jury, my learned friend. What? You could see it in their faces, I'm sure. No recognition of the accused guilt. Your client's fate is all but sealed. In mere moments from now, you will lose, and your compatriot will be damned for all eternity. He's right. I can feel all 6 of the jurors looking daggers at me. Wick. But I can't let them beat me down. I won't. Counsel for the defense, proceed with your cross-examination. Yes, my lord. The catastrophic night. It was around 9 o'clock that evening when I visited my neighbor and I took some tea with me as a gift. Like this. Were you and your neighbor, good friends then? No, my friends. No. A simple no would have sufficed. Then, why did you decide to pay him a visit? Mr. Shakespeare fancies himself as having great literary knowledge. As a fellow scholar of English literature, we find much to talk about together. Come now, no Japanese could understand the finer points of English literature. And on the night in question, well, that was the topic of conversation as well, I presume. It was the day of my last trial when I was acquitted. I had just arrived back at my lodgings, and I ran into Mr. Shakespeare outside on the street. It was around 6 o'clock. I exchanged 1 or 2 pleasantries, but soon turned into a heated discussion. He was on his way out at that time, though, so I promised to visit his room that evening at 9 to continue our debate. But did I have ill intentions? No, not at all, not too, not any. Not at all! Never, ever! A simple no would have sufficed, I feel. And tell the court what did happen when you visited the victim's room. He had a heated literary debate over a nice hot drink, after which I went back to my room at around 11. Okay, so a literary debate about Shakespeare's work, I think you said, didn't you? Shakespeare? Ah, very worthy topic of conversation, I must say. Oh, yes, my lord. Romeo and Juliet were stronger. It was a profoundly pleasurable holiday. Romeo and Juliet? Who was stronger? I know I'm going to regret asking this, but how did the debate go? Well, we both agreed that we would reach a conclusion more quickly with a reenactment. So we built it out in a Greco-Roman style, naturally. So oh god. So you reenacted it, did you? You reenacted the play of Romeo and Juliet, which does involve a substance that, well, one that is actually just straight up poison, but there's also some other concoction that makes Juliet fall asleep and seems like she's dead, but then she wakes back up. Oh boy. This is... yeah. Okay. Now I really want to talk to Mr. Shamsphere because I'm just like curious. How much in character was Shamsphere in during this situation is my question. So who in this, because Sozeki-san was saying that his argument, Juliet was the stronger one. So doesn't... okay, I'll have to see. What? Mr. Shakespeare had all sorts of costumes in his room for such a contest. So when you say a reenactment, you mean you were actually in costume? He has ruling Romeo and I, Juliet, and after a vigorous, wild tussle. Yeah, okay. He is Romeo, I is Juliet, and after a vigorous, wild tussle. Okay, interesting. I, as Juliet, came out on top. Angry and jealous forever. I do not imagine the terrible scene of carnage. The fact remains that it was you who prepared the tea and took it to the victim. Correct. I boiled the water in my room and made a pot to take with me. I knew that he was too bored to have a tea himself, you see. It's true, there was no sign of any tea leaves in the man's room. There wasn't any food in the man's room. I wanted to do something nice, to be friendly. So why is everyone looking at me with such suspicion? My tea was harmless. Of course it was. Do you have any basis for that statement, Honest? When she was completely harmless, he couldn't have locked the door behind me, otherwise could he? Yes, there was not a drop of tea left in the victim's room anywhere, was there? That's correct. Anyone would think the fellow had never had a pot of tea before. He must have let it dry. Which is a pity, because one drop is all we've to analyze it for poison. And you say that you returned home to your room at 11 o'clock, Miss Natsumi? Yes, definitely my biofinite. I swear it. The landlord was able to verify that as it happens. He confirmed that the defendant went back to his room at 11 that night. And how was the landlord able to attest to this? He, said it was the lamps, I believe. The lamps, Inspector. When the tenants return to their rooms and start using gas, the lamps in other parts of the house flicker. Yes, Mr. Garrett seems to pay a lot of attention to the comings and goings of his tenants. Which, they act like it's super strange, but it's like, okay, he is an old war vet who has a bad leg. It's not really surprising he'd be a little paranoid. Like, it wouldn't be that weird. Plus, apparently the last tenant before Mr. Natsumi had been murdered. So, can you really blame the dude? There's only one key to Mr. Shakespeare's room. I know that was certain. So he must have locked the door himself inside his room. Victim has confirmed that to be the case, yes. So right, Matthew was harmless, completely harmless. If you take poison, you die. Everyone knows that. It's not that simple, I'm afraid. What do you mean? I just looked it up. Strychnine takes some time to have an effect on the body. Please, people don't kill repeatedly after taking it. Okay. How long does it take for symptoms to appear then? According to the coroner, speaking throughout the yard, about 30 minutes after the poison's consumed. And the victim suffers violent convulsions, cramping and stiffness, and eventually dies from asphyxiation. Okay. But he didn't die. So explain that. So there's a 30-minute interval between when the poison is ingested and the onset of symptoms. There seems to be a lot of different types of poison in the world, that's for sure. Oh dear, death by poisoning again. It's always so awful. 30 minutes is a long time. Certainly long enough for the victim to have locked the door behind the accused after he left. You can't deny that. And it further degrades Saseki-san's alibi. The medical report from the doctor examined the victim here, my lord. Spells it out. Really, the accused is the only person who could have done it. Or the victim himself. Well, the court will add this report to the court record as evidence. Okay, I would like to look at this, please. Thank you. Let me look. Oh yes, see it here. Delayed onset of symptoms. Okay. Hold on, I want to look at this, please. Thank you. Victim William Shakespeare, 31. Cause of coma. Ingestion of small quantity of, strychnine. Toxic events present 30 minutes after ingestion. High likelihood of the substance having been mixed with the tea the victim was drinking, but no sample could be obtained for testing. The poisoning incident occurred at around 1:30 a.m. on February 21st of February. Assisted from the victim's pocket watch that appears to have broken when the man collapsed at the delayed onset of symptoms. No container for the poison was found at the scene. Okay. But, okay, that doesn't add up. Because Mr. Natsumi went back to his room at 11 p.m. He would have had to been poisoned at 1 a.m. But Mr. Natsumi was already back in his room. Great. Victim would have been perfectly able to lock the door after his guest left. Documents still stand. The argument still stands, you say? This is what Mr. Natsumi has been saying, isn't it? Both of them drank tea together that night, so if there was poison in it, victim wouldn't have been able to lock the door after accused left later on. Exactly, me and my tea are innocent. Sweet and innocent, I tell you. I'm afraid not, sir. That doesn't follow. You see, strychnine is a slow-acting poison. In other words, it takes time for symptoms to appear. So you could have left the room up to 30 minutes after the victim drank the tea. And as long as you did that, Mr. Shakespeare, could have locked the door after you'd gone. But no! We drank the tea straight away. The battle went over whether Romeo and Juliet was stronger. I came after the tea. Do you have any evidence to support that statement? No. In my great old land, the Empire of Japan, we have a saying. Drink tea while it's hot. Sure, a proverb still will satisfy the prosecution. I'm afraid there's no conclusive proof to support the defendant's decision. On the contrary, there are sufficient grounds to infer his guilt in this matter. No. That's the extent of the testimony, is it? If I could voice a personal opinion, Miss Naruhodo. Of course, go ahead. Mr. Natsumi is arguing for his innocence so adamantly and so persistently. Yet Inspector Gregson just brushes what he says aside. It's really quite infuriating. I agree. So we need to find an inconsistency in what the inspector is saying, I think. I'm afraid so. As things stand, the jurors are sure to find Mr. Natsumi guilty. As I see it, what we need to do is focus on the poison and the tea. Let's listen carefully to this testimony again. Okay. I think it has to do with... That's fine. I think...
Objection.
Yeah, there we go. Okay, I'm sure. Your argument still stands, you say? I think not, Inspector. Come again? I think you'll find that you've overlooked a very significant chronological inconsistency here. What are you on about? According to this report, the victim must have consumed the poison at around 1:30 in the morning. And yet, the defendant, Mr. Natsumi, left the victim's room at 11. Yes, that's right. There's more than 2 hours of missing time there. In other words, if there was poison in the tea that Mr. Natsumi brought to the victim's room, how could the victim have fallen ill to it 2.5 hours after the defendant left? They did the same animation. The defensive argument is entirely useful. I respond with Lord Bet 6. First I gotta pour myself a drink. Absolute mood. Honestly, I could use a drink. Doesn't even take a drink of it. Pray forgive the courtesy of my mind has wandered. I was considering what cuisine would best complement the contents of my hallowed chalice this luncheon. How could it have happened, you ask? Oh my gosh. I do hate to shatter illusions, but my Neapolitan friend appears to be chasing a phantom, my dear. A phantom? Is it so hard to imagine that the victim drank his tea after the accused had left? For example, at the time stated in the medical report, yes, at around 1:30. Mr. Natsumi brought the tea with him to drink together with his neighbor, and in Japan there's a well-known saying, drink the tea while it's hot. Yet that doesn't mean anything. And in my country, there is an even more apt saying. There is nothing more refreshing than cold tea. The point is, if there was such a long gap, there may be other ways to explain how the victim came to be poisoned. Other possibilities. What sort of possibilities, Council? I don't. Well, for example, the man could have had another visitor. Another visitor. That's a very bold assertion, my learned friend. From someone who has nothing to substantiate it. Or the victim could have taken the poison of his own volition. You suggest this, but Council?
Objection!
Mr. Shamspeare has categorically denied suicide. The idea can and must be discounted.
Objection!
But he could be lying. Yeah. It's not a great argument, but it's an argument. There's something wrong, Lord Vansworth. I was listening to sound the carriage pulling up outside the courtroom. Pray forgive the discourtesy. Carriage? What carriage? It would seem that the key player in this case has just arrived. Oh, the victim. Hold it. Who said hold it? This is out, brief candle, life's. I think it's the victim. Out, brief candle, life's but a walking shadow. Yep. A poor player that struts and fruts his hour upon the stage, and then it's heard no more. It is a tale told by an idiot, full of sound and fury, signifying nothing. Oh, so are you? William Shakespeare, my lord. Alas, 'twas I undone by these bitter events. I am the victim. What? What's he doing here? The prosecution seeks to call the gentleman to the stand. With his testimony, my learned friend's futile resistance will be utterly crushed. You're calling him as a witness? Well, Counsel, I got your request with interest. Of course, discover what the court shall hear from the victim himself. But I am Shakespeare to regale thee with the tale of my woe, my lord. What? I still have my own tale to tell. My own tale of worse woe. I can regale the court with the tale of my perfect innocence and perfect English. That will do, Miss Natsumi. The court now hear from the victim. Alright. Oh! That we saw that dude! Alright, so that's Mr. Shamsphere. But who's that other man beside him? Yes, I feel sure we've caught a glimpse of that man before. State your names and occupations for the court, please, witnesses. A writer of words so sweet, they do scent the breeze, an inventor of ideas so profound, they compose the earth, the unrivalled poet, the unmatched scribe, William Shakespeare. War the greatest bard to be recalled to life anew. Lord, what a magnificent man! Good fellows, I am he who ponders such a miracle. William Shakespeare. The name's Meadowman. Ebron be Mr. Man. I work for the Allotment Gas Company, East End Branch Office. Ooh, okay. Interesting. I remember now. It was yesterday on Briar Road. Oh yes, she's right, it's him. Oh, what's this? What's that man doing over there? He looks like he's trying to see into Suzuki-san's lodgings. Is something wrong, Mr. Mura? Excuse me, could we have a word? Yes, we spotted him outside Mr. Gerdup's house that morning. And he's a gas company employee. What does he have to do with this case? So, Mr. William Shakespeare, you are the victim in this miserable affair, correct? Oh, heaven! Oh, hell! Do you command me to remember that sweet poison that just crossed me and crossed mine innocent lips? I subpoenaed him for the trial, with his doctor's permission, naturally. And the testimony of the aggrieved will remove any room for doubt from the jurors' minds, I'm sure. Behold, you have only to arrange the letters of my name to see that means a seraph, an angel, indeed. Thus be I noble of mind, sweet of nature, and verily honest of heart, as all heavenly angels be. Because there isn't a less contrived meaning in your name. No, not at all. Yeah, that you're a sham. The jurors seem to be very moved by this man, I'm afraid. They're actually taking this seraph anagram idea seriously? Okay, witnesses, you're eliminating introductions. But my lord, what's the man next to Mr. Shakespeare doing here? The gas man, I mean. What, me? Oh, hello. Allow me to enlighten my learned friend. You recall, I presume, your earlier impertinence. When you suggested the victim had another visitor to his room on the night in question. And moreover, that the victim is a compulsive liar. What? No, I didn't quite say that. Yeah, you just said that he could have been lying, not that he's a compulsive liar. That's very different. This young Shinstroker has controvert your wild claims conclusively. Is that not so, Mr. Meter Man? Because he checks the meters. Mr. Meter Man. What's his full name? Did it say what his full name is? I forget what it was. Adron B. Meter Man. Adron B. Meter Man. I feel like that's a play on words or something. Adron B. Meter Man. Adron B. Does everybody look like gas meters or something? Yeah, Meter Man. But I'm like trying to think of the first part of his name is Adron B. Ultimo Gas. Okay. Is that a name of a gas company? Like something like with Adron B? Adron B Meter Man. I don't know. Anyway. Is that not so, Mr. Meter Man? No, I'm just here. If I go for your formal testimonies, you will tell the court as lucidly as possible what happened on the night in question. Oh, one may smile and be a villain. Yes, it doth pain me, but let the truth be spoken. The truth of that wintry night of my discontent. Okay. The wintry night of my discontent. The snow lay about, my neighbor did cometh in the evening, bearing a gift of tea. But marry, bitter was his drink, and when he left I did fall prostrate on my table. 'Twas the tea alone did pass by lips that late hour, nothing else. You sure you didn't just, like, pass out from, lack of food and water? I think maybe you just passed out from lack of food and water, sir. That might have been what happened. I was outside this book's window in the freezing cold all night, keeping an eye on his room. Why? No one else visited his room but that short little round-backed eastern fella. Okay, but why were you watching his room? Wait, what did you say? You were keeping an eye on Mr. Shamspear's room all night? That's right, cause the boat's window is all but locked up, isn't it? I know, Romeo. My doggy isn't here. He shouldn't be in here. Hey, what are you doing? There's somebody upstairs that's there to take care of you. You don't have to come to me. Oh my gosh. Give me 1 second. I need to get him to go upstairs. Give me 1 second here. I'll be right back. Okay, I am back. My brother is here. Just so that I wouldn't be interrupted while I'm streaming, but Dog was still like, nope, I have to ask you. Like, of course, thank you so much. Okay. Just myself a bit. Right, of course, the bloke's window is all but blocked up, isn't it? But there's a little gap in the bricks. I don't remember how I did his eyes. There's a little gap in the bricks where you can see into the room. So I spent the night trying to keep my teeth from chattering as I put in through that. The question is, why? Well, that's because he's on my list. Your list? What a piece of work as a man. Wherefore, wouldst thou not stare in wonderment? What are you talking about? This buzzing busybody hath not part in this play. I pray thee, pay him no heed. Make no more ado about his tedious words. This guy looks like a bee. He's a busybody, he's a bee. Yeah, he's a busy bee! Wait, is that what the pun is with his name? Oh no, hold on. Adron bee. Like, there's a bee, but I'm like, Adron? What's Adron? Adron bee meter man, Adron. Adron B. Adron B. I don't know. Adron? Also, how is he 23? Right? This guy's 23. This guy's 31. And then this guy's 32. And you're 33. And you're 44. You're, I don't know. You're only 20. You're 34! 34! Wait, no. 32! 34! Sasaki's lying. He's 30. I don't know. The appearances of people in this game are weird. "46. He's only 2 years older than Gregson. This is crazy. But then this guy's only 23. Like, what? That man does not look like he's 23. Anyway, he's a B. Like, even how he has his bag that looks like, the butt of a bee. And his scarf looks like wings. Right? The little bee wings. He looks like a freaking bee, and even the tiny little buckle looks kind of like a stinger. There's like, you know, just a little extra right there. Does that mean he has a queen? Whoever the queen of the company he works for. Wait, what was the company he's worked for? Hold on. What was the Altamont. What I'm very just curious. Altamont. The Tragedy of Altamont? Huh. Okay. Interesting. Anyway, enough of the side stuff. What'd you say about me? Calm yourself. As court is concerned with what happened on the night in question. Nothing more. Did I saw. And as the testimony we have just heard clearly reveals, there was no one other than the accused present at the time who have carried out this crime. Except now we know that there was someone else hanging around. Like, hello? Well, I believe this may be the final testimony of the trial. Now, counsel, the defense may proceed with the cross-examination. Buzzing around, you mean? Yeah. Yes, my lord. The wintry night of my discontent. It's not late about my neighbor did cometh in the evening bearing a gift of tea.
Hold it!
Okay. To be clear, by neighbor, you are referring to defendant Mr. Natsumi. Oh, indeed, sire. Perchance thou wittest that I call him the man from upstairs. No, that's referring... Usually people say that they are referring to God. And at what time did the mustachioed Neopones visit you in your room? A meeting was promised for the hour of 9, and lo did he come to tender a gift of fragrant tea. Details which are in accordance with the defendant's own testimony, yes. And we were embroiled in such a literary debate as history hath not seen before. By which I presume he means their discussion about who was the stronger, Romeo or Juliet. I sham spirited play the part of young Romeo, whereas my neighbor played the fair Juliet. Each of us dressed as would our characters be, to bring wit upon our merry experiment. I dare not imagine sin. Frailty, thy name is woman. Canst thou imagine how dismayed I was? Yes, I had heard of the Eastern art of Jiu-Jitsu, but ne'er did I dream 'twould be a skill practiced by the commonly maiden. Juliet beat Romeo up? This is not helping our case. I'm very confused. I'm so confused. What is he talking about? I believe the court has heard enough about your earth-shattering literary debate. Perhaps you could reiterate your statement about the tea that the accused brought to your room. My liege, I am thy servant. Verily, I went to thy bidding. But marry, better was his drink, and when he left I did fall prostrate on my table.
Hold it!
Let me stop you there. Mr. Natsumi left her room at 11 o'clock, but it wasn't until after 2 that the poison made you collapse. That amounts to more than 3 hours of missing time. What's he doing? This is a dance. This is a little... I vibe with this dance. I'm like, yes. I don't know. I like it. If the defendant had really put the poison into your tea, that 3-hour window of time is something you're going to have to explain. Gladly, 'tis an easy task. What? I did drink the tea, not while as my guest is Terry, but after he took leave of me. Faith, 'twas stone cold, but at 1 hour past midnight, barely were my lips parched. That doesn't sound normal. Nay, 'tis quite ordinary, sire. After all, thou wouldst recall our fiery debate. Amidst such argument there'd be no time for fiery tea. Romeo and Juliet again. And who was stronger? Mr. Shakespeare. And Zomari, allow me to confirm. Did you not come here with the intention of naming your attacker? But of course, my liege, 'twas the stupid lover of words that attempt to shuffle me off this mortal coil. We all know what that means. Was the tea alone that passed my lips that late hour, not else.
Hold it!
So, you didn't have any kind of evening meal? Dinner? Supper? Ah, fie on luxury, fie on gluttony. To eat thrice daily is but a waste of time. Sorry? I would that my belly were full, no more often the sun doth rise. Well, no sir, eating habits, sir. Night and day do I fill my hours with the study of the great... Great! Oh, goodness, why am I yawning already? Write a bard and playwright, and sent it that there doth not in my chamber, be there the costumes of mine art. That would appear to be the case, as even a rodent was found starved to death in your room. Now that I think about it, it's not just food that was conspicuously missing from that room, is it? I don't recall seeing a single player script anywhere. For I have devoured them all. You've eaten them. Every word within my skull. Didst thou imagine otherwise? Right. That wasn't misleading at all. Now, could you turn around, do you think? Which brought us to the conclusion that the only way the poison could have passed the victim's lips is in the tea. I was out the Saddest Bloke's window in the freezing cold all night, keeping an eye on his room.
Hold it!
But the windows of that house have all been filled in. A historical artifact of the now defunct window tax. Yeah, you're right. They're all bricked up horribly. But as it happens, there's a little part of the brickwork at the bottom corner that's been opened up. I was looking in through that gap. Yes, there were a few bricks loose, weren't there? And for some strange reason, a couple of bars of soap lined up on the ledge outside as well. I don't like going around poking my chin in other people's businesses, especially on freezing cold nights. Wait. Hold on. Where are you now? Were you looking through the hole in the window? Where are you now? Where are you now? Funny how that be. I don't like going around poking my chin in other people's business, especially on freezing cold nights. But them's my orders. So that's what I keep doing, as long as there's breath in my body. What's with all the theatricals today? Out of interest, Mr. Meterman. After the accused had left and returned to his own lodging. Did you see the victim leave the room at all? No, he never left. He was in that room the whole time as far as I'm concerned. And we can therefore discount the possibility of suicide. How can you be so sure of that? The police carried out a thorough investigation of the scene and found no receptacle for the poison. And since we know the victim didn't leave his room, then Hans didn't dispose of the poison's container himself. It's clear that this was no attempted suicide. Only the culprit could have removed the receptacle. Ah, yes. Easily explained, Counsel. Thank you. It really was. You can't argue with the logic. Alright, no one else entered the room but this short little round-backed Eastern fella.
Hold it!
You say a short little round-backed Eastern fella, so you can't be sure if it was the defendant then. How many other short little round-backed neopaneers with a mustache do you think there are in London? Well, of course, it's only a narrow gap and it was quite dark, so I didn't notice the mustache. But he showed up around 9, so I'm pretty sure myself. And when the person you saw arrived, did he and Mr. Shakespeare drink tea together? Oh, sorry, I couldn't say. Why not? Because I couldn't see into the room all that well, could I? But what I could see was the silhouette of that little round-backed fellow wearing a pretty dress. And the pair of them started some kind of wrestling match. I tell you, I didn't know what to make of it. So wait, they did literally have some kind of physical fighting? How does that prove who was stronger, Juliet or That doesn't make any sense. Okay. I suppose that was the Romeo and Juliet championship battle getting underway. Mr. Meatman, allow me to confirm one fun time. Art will make her accused. Can you state with certainty that no one else visited the victim on the night in question? No question. Gas man's honor. Sure. Hold it. Oh, shit. Who? You. Oh, God. My lord. It's me. Yes, Mr. Foreman. I've kept my mouth shut and listened up to now, but this is good. Long enough. Are you with me? Yes. Oh, fuck. We to understand that you, ladies and gentlemen of the jury, are in agreement with one another. And you've reached a unanimous decision. So right, we have. Are you all with me? Yes. Fuck. No. Excuse me. I had something to say though. I had something to say to the Mr. B man. Mr. B man, I had something to say to Mr. B man. The judge on the top of his hat, his wig thing to the side. Wait, no! The defense is in the middle of a cross-examination! To be honest, I was not a bit of hope for you young men. Especially after you identified those few hours that followed the accused leaving the victim's room. Oh, good. Okay. Yes, the 3 missing hours, as you put it. Well, in the end, what difference do they make? As far as I can see. And since that's so apparent, there's really no reason to delay our decision any longer. Like I was saying before, if I don't take 5 Bob home with me tonight, the missus will blow her up. 5 Bob home with me tonight. I guess it means him getting paid. What's that? I didn't quite catch what you said. Very well, let the court be apprised of your decisions. Ladies and gentlemen of the jury, you'll state your leanings as the defendant's capability. Yeah, fuck.
Guilty.
Guilty. You fuck. That's a little mean. All of you? Well, it would appear that the jury is indeed unanimous. Got pour himself a drink. Victory drink. So this time at least, it seems justice will be done. All's well that ends well, as they say. This calls for a toast, I feel. To the guilty being punished. Get up, Mr. Naruhodo, please. The trial isn't over yet. What do you mean, Miss Azato? What about the information I found in the Encyclopedia of British Law? The obscure right that belongs to defense in these situations, remember? Right, we're still kind of getting into tutorial stuff. Assimilation examination. Yes, that's right. We don't have a jury in Japanese courts, of course. But here in British Court of Law, if we can reverse the decisions of a majority of the jurors, we can force the trial to continue. This trial can't end now. Whatever it takes, I just can't let that happen. The defense moves to invoke its right to assimilation examination, my lord. Why am I not surprised? My Lord Neopene's friend's inability to submit to fate. You choose to cling desperately to some archaic rule you barely comprehend instead of accepting the truth. Certainly no other defense counselor in recent times has exercised the right to examination, because they all know that once the jury's mind is set, it cannot be altered. Nevertheless, the right remains, and it must be upheld. The defense counsel's request is granted. It's going to oversee with examination as outlined in the Encyclopedia of British Law. Thank you, my lord. Are you and your fellows prepared, Mr. Foreman? Believe me, my lord, we all know all about this young lad's tenacity. And we're ready for it. Very well. In that case, ladies and gentlemen of the jury, may I call upon each of you to state the grounds upon which you find the defendant guilty of the crime for which he stands accused. All right. Can I find out what her deal is? What's her deal? Victim may not be, but he's a noble man and straight up. There's no reason to doubt the man. Well, I do declare the good gentleman has no reason to lie. In fact, I think he's rather splendid. Look at the accused by comparison. He's Japanese, stoops all the while, and has a mustache. Very fishy. There's no evidence to suggest the gangly actor is a fraudsman. Or no, at least. Look, I really don't care. I just need the trial done quickly. 8 hours of missing time is nothing when you reach my age. Nothing at all. I knew it. Every single one of them seems completely convinced. It would seem that all the jurors have come to the conclusion Mr. Shakespeare is a fine, upstanding, and honest citizen. If you ask me, they've all been bewitched by his strange theatrical movements. And sadly, nothing Mr. Natsumi has said appears to have registered at all. Well, here goes. Let's not forget. I pleaded with the jury on Suzuki-san's behalf before, and it worked. So you never know. Before we begin, it might be an idea for me to remind you exactly how a summonation examination works, Mr. Naruhodo. Oh. Well, you're still very new to British law, after all. That's true, I suppose. And Suzuki-san's fate is entirely in my hands now, too. There's always a chance I might have forgotten some crucial detail. Perhaps I should hear Suzato-san out. I wonder, should I let her talk me through again? Sure, why not? I feel like I do. I know, but whatever. Alright, so if you remember, the key to changing the jurors' minds is the things that they say themselves. Yes, it's coming back to me. First, it's important to listen to it very carefully to each juror's statement. Then, if it sounds as though one of the statements might contradict another, I have to pit the corresponding two jurors against each other to prove one or the other of them wrong. Yes, that's right. In many ways, it's very similar to a normal cross-examination. Alright then, all that remains now is to do it. Okay. Without further ado, please, counsel, proceed with the summonation examination. Alright. Yes, my lord. Alright. The fence's rebuttal. It may not be well off, but he's an old man straight up. There's no reason to doubt the man. Okay. Well, there are plenty of people in London who seem noble but poor. Can some of them also be liars? No doubt about it. Like that shaky client of yours, for example. Mr. Natsumi is no liar. Look, the boy has the only thing that passed the victim's lips that night was that Japanese man's teeth. When you take the gas man's testimony into account as well, the truth couldn't be any clearer. Well, that's alarmingly logical. But let me be frank, I'm a gentleman with a gentleman's values. If it turns out that old Shakespearean chum is a rotten liar after all, I gladly change my decision without the defendant. I'm sure my fellow gentlemen on the jury would do the same. Isn't that right? Well, yes, perhaps, although I don't see it happening. What's it? Legend on the end, you know? You left us speak up. For some reason today, me trying to, like, just talk in different voices just end up all turning into, like, British English accents, and I don't know why. Why am I so much better at doing English accents today? I don't know. Look, I really don't care about all this nonsense. I just need this trial to be over. How many gentlemen do we actually have on the jury then? Alright, sir, I may hold you to that. Don't forget what you said. Okay. Okay, so... Well, I do declare the good judgment has never risen to lie. In fact, I think he's rather splendid. Okay, why? Are you saying that you believe the man to be trustworthy because he's rather splendid? No, that's not what I said. The point is, the man is the victim here. What reason would he have to lie? And yes, he is rather splendid. So you say it again. Meanwhile, the man who stands accused behaves so suspiciously. It's exhausting to look at him. I'm afraid he's not splendid at all. Splendid logic there, madam. Thank you very much. Okay, so I don't think she's going to be in use. Look at the accused by comparison. He's Japanese, stoops all the while, and has a mustache. Very fishy. Oh, do we put you against the first guy? Because the first guy has a mustache. No. None of those, not one of those things is the reason to find the man guilty. He is fishy. There's no point dancing around the fact he's Japanese. He has a mustache, and he stoops. You see, you arrive at the conclusion in just 3 steps. 3 steps. And what's in fact? You know, the more I think about it, the more sure it seems like a dance. You seem to be several steps ahead of yourself, though, and you're on the wrong foot. No, there's nothing but circumstantial evidence here. There's no actual proof of the defendant's guilt. But the victim's version of events is backed up by what the big chin man next to him says, isn't it? 1, he saw the Japanese man there. 2, he saw no one else. And 3, he saw the Japanese man there. Oh! That's another 3 steps. All this really does seem more and more like a waltz, isn't it? That was just 2. Right, and the prosecution will waltz its way to victory if I let you speak much more. There's no evidence that it's the gangling actors of fraudsmen, for now at least. A fraudsman? What do you mean by that, madam? It really is a most tiresome problem for the company. Most irritating. We can be absolutely certain that a customer is stealing from us without hard evidence. Wait, oh! She's the queen bee! She's the queen bee. She's the queen bee. Yeah, she says she owns a company. You gotta get her to stand up. Listen, I'm sure, based on, like, a lot of these sort of style dresses, I'm sure she has, like, a bunch of... Well, she has, like, these brown stripings and this yellow. Right? And just very poofy, like, it's very fluffy. Right? Bees are fluffy. Especially bumblebees. Bumblebees are great. They are adorable little just balls of fluff and cotton that just fumble its way through the air. But she's talking about somebody stealing. The customer stealing from us, but without hard evidence. So did she send Mr. Meterman to investigate Mr. Shamspear? Because they think that he's the one who's been stealing gas? Okay. I think... Did this guy pass out from, like, carbon monoxide, or like from a gas leak. And the reason he woke up is because we opened the door. Right? We let the air go out. And the reason the gas built up is because the brick wall had been filled in. So no smell. I don't know. I'm not sure. I don't know. Interesting. So was Mr. Sham possibly stealing, like, gas? Hold on. Let me look at his room again. Because I noticed this. The spill. Sham might have been stealing gas, screwed it up, and got caught? Maybe. That's what I'm thinking. Or it was just him being really stupid and not realizing if he didn't give any sort of airway for himself, he would pass out. And something has to go on with these soaps. There has to be some kind of ability, like somebody's communicating with these soaps. I think maybe, I wonder if it has to do with Mr. Meterman. Also, don't they use like beeswax to make soap? Just saying. Just saying. Don't they maybe use beeswax soap? Yeah. Yeah, and candles. That's true. Candles as well. But I was just thinking because of all the soap. So many soap involved. I don't know. Anyway, I think something's going on with that. Okay. We can be absolutely certain that a customer is stealing from us, but without hard evidence. We can't even threaten to take action for fear of being sued. I'm sorry, you've lost me a little there. Who are you? I'm the wife of Augustus Alamont, owner of the Alamont Gas Company. Bingo! Hey, lawyer. Hey, lawyer dude. Hello, real Matt on guards. Hello, I am being the lawyer today. Ding, 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 right? I knew it. She's the queen bee. She's the queen of the gas company. Hell yeah. Doesn't say what her name is, just Augustus. Augustus Alamont, owner of the Alamont Gas Company. What? Alamont Gas, you say? Gas in the future of energy in this country and around the globe, but proper handling is essential. As I'm sure our employee from the East End branch office would be the first to agree. Quimby! Lady Quimby? Queen? Queen Bee? Queen Bee! Queen Bee! Yeah, Queen Bee. I'm so proud of myself. Absolutely, Lady Quimby gotta be used properly. Almond gas is the best in the world, of course. I think we may have solved the mystery of the ball from earlier, Mr. Naruto. Right, he bowed in defense to his employer's wife, did he? So, would I be right in assuming that the reason Mr. Meterman was watching what Mr. Shakespeare was up to in his room? I'm afraid there's no end to the lengths the population of the East End will go in order to seal our gas. So I really have no choice when the company identifies somebody as a possible fraudsman. But to dispatch a worker to watch the suspect day and night, we're very thorough in our investigations. So you mean Mr. Shakespeare is... I wouldn't come out and say it in public, but you can finish that sentence with a grubby little gas thief. Oh my god, Arabella! The stripes, and then that's a stinger! It's a stinger! And also, the little bit of the pink make me think of, like, when, beekeepers actually mark the queen. They'll, like, put, like, a little bit of, like, a mark on them. Right? I feel like that's... I don't know. Anyway, now... Oh my gosh. You have noticed the public gallery in here, have you? The eye of a man hath not heard, the ear of a man hath not seen. Faith, wouldest thou wound me with thy words, were I to let them penetrate the skin. But stirrups hear not insults, like choirs of angels to song. We may not have evidence yet, but my workers won't stop buzzing around until they find it. They won't stop buzzing around. Stop. She works for a gas business. She's a businesswoman. Oh my god. I love this. I love this so much. I have a thing with bees too, because I made a D&D character named Beanard, who's a bee, and he's a bard. He's basically a pixie, but he's a little bard, and I ever since making that little character, I'm just like, bee! A bee! So I have a small obsession with bees, particularly bumblebees, because like I said, they're just little balls of cotton that fly through the air and bump into everything. Little flying little cotton bumper cars. That's what they are. And when they do, they'll find yourself blasted back to your angelic heights in an Almond gas explosion. Ma'am? That's, So Mr. Shakespeare has been sealing gas. I wonder, juror number 4, if you wouldn't mind adding that information to your statement? My pleasure. Was it the bit about ripping that thief apart you enjoyed? A little before the part about objective violence, if it's not too much trouble. Yeah, I suppose. This could be it. This could shift the balance. Oh my god. Victim puts on a fine performance, but in reality, he's a common thief of my company's gas. Okay, so I'm gonna pit you. Well, I guess that's a not liar. Okay, so let's actually keep going. Let's keep going. Okay. I really don't get, like, I just need this job to end quickly. Okay. You keep talking about needing to take home some money. What's that all about, sir? Finish last. That's what it's about. What's that? I'm talking about the derby at Hyde Park, aren't I? It was the Queen's Cup last week, wasn't it? A derby? It was a dead cert, that's the thing, I couldn't lose. So I took my wife's secret savings, like... But then that hopeless old man went and did the big block of that stupid finished last. Oh dear, I think it's clear what happened, isn't it? So the missus used her savings for a trip down the pub. come on with this business lie now. Just give it up. No, that's not gonna happen. Okay, I don't think he's very helpful. I was a missing dog or something when you reached my age. I know nothing about it. Okay, what do you mean? What do you really mean by that, sir? Well, I'm not going to boast, but I get up at 5 every morning. At 5? You're a really early riser then, aren't you? Stop now. I said you're an early riser. Oh, I wouldn't say that. I like to while away the hours in the evening reading books as well. But by around about 2 in the morning, I'm usually tired to go on. He sleeps at 2 in the morning and gets up at 5? Oh my, that means he only has 3 hours of sleep each night? What's that? Only 3 hours of sleep each night? That's right, you say 3 hours of missing time. Like I said, how much is it? This really isn't helping. Okay. He's some examinations that definitely contradicts my 2 jurors' statements, Mr. Arado, right? Once I found 2 jurors' statements can't coexist, I need to pit those jurors against each other. And hopefully when they see that what they're saying doesn't make sense, they'll change their leaning. Yes, and if you're able to change the minds of a majority of the jurors, the trial will continue. But conversely, if you're unable to do that, the judge will declare the trial over and move to okay. Do a savey, please. 3 hours? They're superhuman. Yeah, I would die if I slept only 3 hours a night. Like, no. And I can't let that happen. Somehow or other, I have to turn this trial around. Okay. So I think... Okay, I don't know. I think it's either like...
Objection.
That work? Yeah. Those 2 statements clearly contradict each other. Righteous. Whose statements do you feel, cousin? Juror number 1. What are you yelling about, lad? I presume you've heard juror number 4 statement made by the wife of the owner of, Altamont's Gas? Oh, yes. The victim, who you claim to be a noble, straight-up man, in fact turns out to be a common thief. So the good lady says, but there's no evidence, is there? You and I both own them as much. It's true, we don't have evidence as such just yet. But the claims aren't baseless, you know. What? You heard me, seeing as his operation has already been compromised. I would suggest that the court hears testimony from our Eastern Branch officer employee over there. I'll do whatever you say, lady. Guess man's on. Juror number 1. You say you're a man of your word. If I could show that Mr. Shamspeare was a liar, you assured me that you would reconsider your decision about the defendant's guilt. Yes, I did say that. As a man of honor to it, and I'm sure the other gentlemen of the jury will. Me? Well, yes. Now that we found out the man's a liar, perhaps we ought to consider the matter further. I'm perfectly honest, I haven't heard half of what you've all been saying. So this means you'll recap a few points that would suit me down to the ground. Oh no, I'm not having any part of this. I want the trial over and done with. In that case, I shall change my leaning. So, Mr. William Shakespeare, if that is your real name, we of the jury demand to know exactly what kind of a man you really are. Yeah, I don't think Shakespeare is his real name. That would be very silly. That's 4 jurors. 4 for not guilty. Yes, Mrs. Arado. Victory! It's in the name, Sham, right? Well, this is quite extraordinary, I have to say. As a result of the defendant's examination, the jury's leaning has changed. Now only two jurors say guilty, whilst four say not guilty. I therefore declare this court to be in a state of discord, and order the trial to continue. Hooray! He's gonna yeet it, isn't he? Yep, yeet! You have spilt the bucket, Mr. Shakespeare. Oh. The ladies and gentlemen of the jury now find they are unable to trust you, the victim. He's like, if I can't see them, they can't see me. But you gods will give us some faults to make us men. So God mend me, I do swear. This gas man speaketh that which concerns him most. Not but gas, not but thin air. Aye, it burneth bright as while, but it hath no substance. And it doth very foul. Oh, what do you say? I take it, Mr. Shakespeare, that you deny the allegation of gas thievery. Most heartily, my lord. Hast thou forgot? I am as a seraph, an angel, noble of mind, sweet of nature, and verily honest of heart. You flowery mouth pompous people, just 'cause I haven't got the evidence yet. Mr. Shakespeare, if in fact you are not noble of mind, sweet of nature, or honest of heart, if you are a liar, then your testimony should have no sway in this courtroom. It is my considered opinion. At the present time, no other possible culprit of this crime has been identified. All testimony heard by the court thus far heavily implicates the defendant. In short, it would not be unreasonable at this stage for me to rule on this case. Oh no. Like the fact that the jury has expressed concern about the fidelity of this witness, I believe it would be inappropriate for this court not to pursue the point. Objection! Oh shit. I assure you, my lord, that would be a waste of the court's time. The gas in this case are unrelated. Juror number 4. Yes. Didn't you say before that although you had no hard evidence to prove this man has been stealing gas, you have strong grounds for suspecting him? That's right, we do, don't we, worker? Absolutely, Lady Quinby. Gas man's on. Very well then, we will hear your testimony now. You will tell the court precisely why you believe that Mr. William Shakespeare has been stealing gas. Yes, my lord. Oh, if I may, my lord. Oh, go ahead, madame. This worker's testimony may have a significant bearing on the good name of my husband's company. Therefore, I should like to take the stand alongside him in a supervisory role, if you wouldn't mind. Oh, yeah. Sweet as honey. Yeah. Sweet as honey. Very well, as an exception, I shall honor your request. Thank you, my lord. Wait till the boss gives you an earful, it's gonna sting. You mark my words, it's gonna sting. I love these play on words. So you will both testify before the court on the subject of the illegal consumption of the Alamo gas company's fuel. Yes, is that clear, my good man? Clear as Alamo's gas, my lady. Which is the clearest in the world. Interesting. Do you think the gas has gone to his head, Mr. Zara? I think the man is just a very dedicated employee, Mr. Nurhood. I also think yes, it has gone to his head. The Alamo Gas Company's investigation. I'm proud to be the company's East End branch investigator and meter many collection agent. Among gas meters accept thorough penny bits, each coin giving customers about 2 hours of gorgeous gas. And yet, the meter in Mr. Shakespeare's room didn't have a single coin in it. Meters appear to have been tampered with, though, and the collection agent has the only key. Somehow he's using all the flaming gas he wants without paying a penny. If that's not thieving, what is? What is? Okay. Interesting. Pray forgive the scarcity, and the relevance of this testimony caused me to turn my hallowed shadows. What do you mean by that remark, Lord Six? Did the mustachioed Neopanese poison the gangling excuse for an actor, or didn't he? That is all that should concern this court. And yet, now we must listen to this abhorrence. Yeet. Clearly what separates the vast British Empire and your Eastern Island nation is more than geographical distance. Man, this guy's really pulling out the, like, being racist. But this could turn out to be a crucial testimony. The cross-examination must go ahead. He's got that whole bottle. Do what you will. Lord Van Zeeks appears to be in a violent mood. Yes, he does. An attempted poisoning and an incident of gas theft with no supportive evidence. It's true that they would appear completely unrelated at first glance, but I wonder. The truth tends to be buried in the most unusual places. Yes, like buried inside of a room filled with gas. And the first step in uncovering it would be to establish just who and what this man really is. He's a con man. He's a sham. The Elemental Gas Company's investigation. Okay. Found to be the company's EDM branch investigator, meter, money collection agent. Okay. So does that mean you enter people's houses in order to empty their gas meters? I do. I have to try to catch people when they're in, then I ask permission to come inside and do my business. Does that mean you've been into Mr. Natsumi's room before, as well as that of Mr. Shakespeare? And I just need to bring that up, because I couldn't believe how little money was in it, you know. I mean, how the both of them survived the winters beyond me. It really is. And Mr. Natsumi probably spends all his gas money on books. And then when he's finished reading them, he probably burns some for worth. Oh my gosh. You'll kindly reiterate your statement about the gas meter steps. Not too much to say, but as you wish. Gas meters accept 2 penny bits. Each coin given customers about 2 hours of gorgeous gas. Okay. So if Mr. Natsumi okay, hold on. Not history. I just wanna look at I don't wanna press it. I just wanna look at okay. Can this poison be breathed in instead of ingested? Because if that's a possibility, then we look at this. There's a puddle there. And if that puddle is still there, that can be tested if that's poison. Right? Okay. That's what I'm thinking right now. Because according to this, it sounds like they're pretty sure about a particular poison being used. Okay. It's up through penny bets. Each coin giving customers about 2 hours of gorge. Wait! He's using the little... Oh! He's using... Okay. Okay. Remember that there was a thing in here, right? Something that's shaped like a coin. Cheap soap. Probably a lot cheap. No. Probably a lot cheaper than getting gas is buying this particular brand of soap. I'm thinking of how Mr. Sham has stolen the gas. Right? I'm trying to think of how he's stealing gas. I think it has to do with these soaps. Because there would be a coin-like object in here. You know, like, it wasn't like, you've probably seen like cartoons and stuff, like old freaking cartoons, where somebody would have like a coin, but there'd be like a little string on it. So they put the coin into a machine, but then they pull the coin back out, but the machine would still count as if the coin had completely gone through the machine. And in other things, people would make, like, things in the same shape and size as the coins that would say fit into a coin-operated machine. That would still activate the, you know, the coin operation. However, it wouldn't be actual money. It would be fake. It would be faked money. I think that is how Mr. Sham is getting gas. But I'm gonna press on this because he's saying through penny bets, each coin giving customers about 2 hours of gorgeous gas. I feel like this is important. So all London houses that have a gas supply are fitted with these gas meters, are they? They're the latest model, the height of technology developed by our company, Element Gas. And if you use our gas, will have one of these meters in their property, yes. So if a 3p coin gives 2 hours of gas, most people would use about 3 coins in a night. A bit more than that, usually, if they have both gas lights and a gas stove, that is. Okay. So we're guessing about 3. So, I believe there was 2 bars just outside. There was, I think, 2 bars of soap, and then there's the one that's on the counter. Could there have been poison inside the coin? That's a good question, actually. Okay, let's... Yeah! So did this guy figure out that he was using... Or maybe it's not even him. But that would make Cecily testimony suspicious, right? Yeah, it would. Because unless Saseki-san happens to have the same sort of brand of soap, which I would be surprised if Saseki had any sort of soap, we found all these soaps in Mr. Sham's room. Not just inside his room, outside of the bricked up window, he had soaps. So the question is, right, would the meter man dude poison him? Like, that seemed weird, right? For him to put a poisonous thing into one of these coins in order to kill Shakespeare? That seems really weird. Huh. I'm wondering something. And this might be a far-fetched idea. But what if it was Miss Green? Because we know she was out at night a couple days ago, right? And there was a picture in her room at the hospital of a young man with blonde hair. It looked like it was blonde. It was a black and white picture, but very light colored hair. I'm wondering if that is a picture of an old picture of Mr. Shakespeare, right? And so, on the night that she accidentally got, like, the knife basically fell into her back, at the same time, she somehow found out that Mr. Shakespeare was doing the whole thing with the soaps. So there's some kind of grudge against him or something in which she may have killed him. That's what I'm saying. It's a bit far-fetched. We don't have any sort of conclusive evidence or anything. But it feels weird, like, what does this guy really, what does he have, why would they kill him? Right? Why would they kill him? And we know it's not Suzeki-san. But who else do we know that has been around in this area? And that is Miss Green. And she was there in that area a couple nights ago. I'm just saying. I don't know yet. Don't know for sure. But just a guessing. Just throwing it out. Okay. Bit more than usual. Usually if they have both gas lights in the gas stove, that is. Thinking about it, Saseki-san doesn't have a fireplace in that room of his, does he? Some people still choose to use candles, of course, and only have gas for heating. Oh yes, I do remember seeing candles in Mr. Natsumi's room, actually. And how does the money in the meter get back to you at the gas company? Between these gas men like me, proprietors on the gas supply and empty the meters of coins. I must say, the design and manufacture of the new meter costs the company an awful lot of money. But happily, it did put a stop to people not paying their dues. For the most part. Ah, because they have to pay in advance, you mean? Yes, exactly right. That makes sense. And yet the meter in Shamsu's room didn't have a single coin in it. But what did it have in it? Out of interest, how long has this been going on? Weeks and weeks he's been pinching gas off his wages. And you've examined the meter in Mr. Shakespeare's room, I take it? Naturally, we took it off the wall and went over it with a fine-tooth comb. And found nothing suspicious at all, I presume. No, I'm afraid we didn't. Which is exactly why I demanded a new type meter to be produced. One with an indestructible lock. The Shakespeare Special. That sounds like it would have cost an awful lot of 3-penny pieces. But even after all that, the rascal's meter was still empty. Forget the humiliation. When I opened up the money box and found it there, what I said, what? Look on his face, that's smarmy smart of his. Okay, so there was nothing in there. But still is a possibility that he's still using the medallion thingies from the soaps. And there's still a possibility that somehow poison was put into it? I don't know. Something like that. Huh. I pulled the meter straight off the wall and took it back to the office. But you know what? Nothing! Not a trace of it being jammed open anywhere, not a single sign. What's happening to my son as a result? Down by 3 shillings a day. So what? A life-threatening situation in a number of ways. Incidentally, what became of that meter? Nothing became of it. Became of it. I've still got it. Oh, can I see it? Yeah. No wonder they call you Meter Man. Could be put into the court. Sequester this item while this trial is ongoing. Oh, yes. Definitely. Although at first glance, there doesn't appear to be anything unusual about it. No, we shall not move this along. Hold your horses, sir. Examine. Okay. That's a very sturdy looking lock pad, isn't it? And the money box is sealed with beeswax, too. So if Mr. Sholmes were to put up any mischief, he'd be found immediately. Ah, I see, okay. So even if he got the lock off of it, it would still break the seal. Ah, that's smart, okay. Mr. Naruhodo, a mischief of that kind is not the sort of thing that Mr. Sholmes would, You know you didn't finish that sentence, don't you? Well, anyway, it's understandable that the Cuss Company would want to safeguard the money that's rightfully theirs. But it does feel a little over the top, perhaps, isn't it? Okay. It's very straight looking bad luck. Okay, yeah. I just wanna... Is there anywhere, anything else? Oh! Hello, little hole! Oh, what's... Have you spotted something, Mr. Naruto? Just here, there's a little hole, do you see? Goodness, you're right, I wouldn't have noticed. It's not a very neat hole, is it? Not professionally made, I'd say. So you think it might have been opened up by Mr. Shamsphere? Possibly. It seems the people at Alma Gas must have missed it. Well, it certainly seems to go all the way through to the inside. Yes, but there's no way a coin could fit through there. Okay. So my thinking is the medallion thingies that are on the soaps are just made of like aluminum foil, right? And so all you have to do is be able to put it through the machine, but then you can get it out. You can force it through there because aluminum is pretty moldable, like, you know, it's pretty easy to, yeah, you understand. That's true, but even so, it seems more than a little suspicious. Okay. Attached coin box sports a very strong lock, and there's a tiny hole in the base. Okay, is there anything else? Nothing about in there, nothing about that, nothing about this area. Okay, I think that's the only thing. Okay. Let's move us along, shall we? Continue with your testimony. Though I would say it has much value as the contents of that meter. The meter doesn't appear to have been tampered with. The collection agent has the only key. I'll press on it anyway. I'm like, wait. There's only one key for all your meters? Well, in truth, there's another key in the company vault at our main office. But even if someone had somehow managed to get a hold of a key, we'd know if the coin box had been opened. Oh, how? I came up with a rather clever way to expose any little shenanigans as it happens. Would you care to explain? Well, now in order to open a meter, you have to unlock the padlock and remove the cover. But when I close the cover again, I stick a little beeswax seal on it, you see. A seal? Like the sort of thing you'd put on an envelope, you mean? Something like that, yes. Basically, you can't remove the cover again without breaking the seal. Now, in the case of Mr. Shamspeare's meter, there were no coins inside at all, as I said. But the seal hadn't been broken either. So that would mean Mr. Shamspeare somehow managed to steal coins from inside the meter without opening it? It would seem so, but impossible. Somehow using all that flaming gas he wants without paying a penny, if that's not even what is. Okay. How do you know that he's been using gas, though? Well, now, since I started investigating this bloke, I've been into his room more than a few times, and on every single occasion, his lamps have been blazing and his stove pounding. In the middle of winter, and he still turns to me, sweat dripping down his cheeks, and says, "Get thee to a nunnery." I'm letting dude. I'm going for the room the bloke's neck. I got a lot under the cover, but still, every time I open up that meter, it's empty. He's robbing me of my salad. What's wrong with the world? Where's the justice? Where's the justice? But how can Mr. Shamspeare possibly be stealing the money? I don't understand. Simple explanation is right before your eyes. What? A toast. You eventually realizing that the gas man could be an accomplice. You what? Good lord. And a mentally blushing indeed. Well, what do you have to say for yourself? Oh, please, Lady Quimby, I'm a fit for work. Besides, if the money us gasmen collect doesn't tally with how much gas has been used, you don't got paid the same amount. So you'd be stealing money only to have the same amount taken from your wages. Clearly that makes no sense. Perhaps it's a case of losing the battle to win the war. No, I'm not gonna show the hornet's nest. If I wasn't stealing from the company, I'd finish to stir up the hornet's nest. It would seem there is no evidence to support the claims of theory made against the victim, because Mr. William Shamspeare is innocent. Cheat. Pray forgive me if that shatters some illusion my learned Neopanese friend is clearly under. Ugh. No, I got this. Certainly didn't expect to uncover another crime that took place. Looks like it's been taking place in the very same room. According to the testimony, it's only the meter in Mr. Shakespeare's room that's under suspicion. It does seem as though perhaps it has nothing to do with the incident involved Mr. Natsumi. Wait, is he making... Is he making soap coins so that when the meter gets hot, the soap melts through and just falls out. And that's what's on the floor. Is just soap. That might be it. I don't know. It does seem as though perhaps it has nothing to do with the incident involving Satsumi. I know, it does seem that way. But the fact is, since I've been practicing law in England, I feel like I've encountered this at least once already. Cases that are interlinked. Oh. It might seem that two cases have nothing to do with one another at first, but in fact they're intimately connected. Yes, we have experienced that before, haven't we? I wonder if this is another instance. Perhaps. We can't be sure of that yet. If the Altamont Gas Company has been investigating Mr. Shamsier so earnestly, there must be something to it. But then, how has he managed to steal their gas? Okay. So I gotta point out that at the matter insurance room didn't have a single coin in it. It doesn't appear to have been tampered with, but it has been tampered with. So I'm doing a save. I don't even know what time it is. 8:26, man. Time has been flying.
Objection.
It really has gone fast. Lady Elamont, I'm afraid to say that this meter clearly does show signs of having been tampered with. What? Or what? I've been over and over that thing. I'm telling you, there's nothing wrong with it. In that case, what do you have to say? What do you have to say about the small hole that's been made at the base of the coin box? Oh, what? You're right. You're quite right. There is a hole there. The meter's not supposed to have that. None of the others do. In other words, we can assume that Mr. Shamspeare secretly opened up this hole himself. Yes, I wouldn't be at all surprised. But why? Yeah, why? I mean, it's tiny. You couldn't get a fortune through that. Lady Elamont, I wonder if you could give the court some more details about your meter design. What sort of details? Well, what I'd specifically like to know is how it differentiates coins. How does the meter tell the difference between different coins? What do you mean? Well, for example, if someone wanted to put in 1 penny coin, that wouldn't work presumably, would it? No, of course not. So, well, how does the meter know that the coin it's been fed as a thorough penny bit? Ah, I see what you're getting at now. The meter tells coins apart by their shape and size, which includes their thicknesses. A thorough penny is a bit about 3/4 of an inch in diameter. You see how the coin just won't fit. Ah, I see. It's clearly been very well thought about. The child will amend a formal testimony with that information in case it is perfect. As you wish, my lord. Meters designed for coins, the exact diameter and thickness of a thorough penny bit. Nothing else will fit. Okay. So, I want to press on that?
Hold it.
But conversely then, it would seem that anything matching a 3-pence coin exactly in terms of diameter and thickness could equally be used. Would, that be true? Well, yes, in a way. The weight comes into it at a certain extent as well. Leave all of that no. Anyway, if I find any fake coins in the coin box when I empty the meter, the contract says the customer has to pay 100 times the amount they diddled as a fine. Live for a moment like that, as gasmen do. It would seem the gas company has thought of everything. Hooray for gas! Hooray for gas! A cash! The amount of... That's quite enough of that. Remind me, how throw penny bits? About 3/4 of an inch across. What do you think, Mr. Hutto? Is this 2 centimeters measurement significant? Or perhaps there's some other aspect of the meter's construction that we should be focusing on? Yes, you may be right. Perhaps I should try a different tact here. Like asking about whether the meter can be dismantled, for example. I don't really think that matters. I don't know. Maybe we'd find something in it, I guess. Okay. So... how can the meter be dismantled? Dismantled? Yes, given that there are no signs of having been forced. I'm wondering if perhaps rather than being broken open, it might have been taken apart. Well, yes, that does make some sense. The padlocks are made by a first-class locksmith from the finest quality steel, and the meter box itself is made from plate steel as well, welded shut to ensure it can't be opened again. I can assure you, it's quite impossible to dismantle it. Ahoo! Nothing leaks from an automatic meter. No coins, no gas, no nothing. Nothing leaks. I see. This is what the remove this by the ambition case. As you wish, my lord. Okay. All joints in the meter are well shut, and the lock is made from solid steel. There's no way to dismantle it. Someone's using all the flaming gas. Okay, hold on. Okay, can I look at the soap again? And look at this part again. Oh, look at this bar of soap. There's a circular depression on this side, about 2 centimeters across. Yep. Or 3/4 of an inch. Do you think? We did find the soap at the scene, didn't we? Yes. Yes, there were 2 bars on that little ledge just outside the window. So we took this one. But I'm sure that when we first found it, there was some sort of reddish medallion in the middle there. I remember it clearly. Yes, but there's no sign of it now. Where could it have gone? Did it melt? Okay. Okay. Okay, now, so do I have to change it back to the other thing? I feel like I need to change it from it being about the being dismantled.
Hold it!
I don't know just how long it's been. Okay. Yeah, we already went through this.
Hold it!
Has anyone ever tried? Oh yeah, they've tried, but they've all given up before long. After all, if they actually broke the meter, the company would be able to take legal action. Yes, that makes sense. What do you think, Miss Naruto? Is this welded steel construction significant? Perhaps there's some other aspect of the meter's construction that we should be focusing on? Yes, you may be right. Perhaps I should try a different track here. Yeah, it's the coin part! Yes, the French... Okay, I see. Okay. Tell the difference between coins. That's what I want. Okay. Do a little savey. Scent. Soap.
Objection.
Bam. Let me just confirm something here. If the diameter and thickness were to be correct, the meter would accept any object as if it were a threepenny bit. Is that correct? Yes, that is correct. Well, by something of a coincidence, while we were investigating in Mr. Shakespeare's room, we found a particular item that matches the dimensions perfectly. Oh! So that's why the soaps were outside the room. So that the little red part wouldn't melt. So that when he needed to put another one in, it would be cold. It would be solid. So that so that's why they were outside. We found a particular item that matches the dimensions perfectly. Something the same size as the threepenny bit. What was it? The item in question is this. That is soap. Have you been inhaling gas as well as soap? It certainly looks nothing like a threepenny bit, I must say. It looks like I'm going to have to point out exactly what I mean here. Okay. What's so important about the soap is this part here. This part. Oh, they're gonna have to talk about. Yeah, I did put it by a perfect circle. I would say it's almost about 3/4 of an inch in diameter, rather like something else we've been talking about recently. In fact, is that part of the soap we need? Yes, I know. I'm doing that. You have to turn over the soap to see what I mean. Ah, are you referring to that round depression in the middle of the soap there? That's right, a depression that's approximately 3/4 of an inch in diameter. Or in other words, almost exactly the same size as a threepenny bit. Get away! Is anyone here present up in the possession of threepenny bit? Well, I know your bones, ladies and gentlemen. It sounds rather like a highway robbery, doesn't it? So, a kind member of the public in the gallery, I have a threepenny bit. Now, see if it fits. It fits perfectly! My word, it couldn't be more snug. Yes, as I suspected. This, without a doubt, is a vital clue to explain how the Allemande Gas Company is being defrauded. Alright, so, that little piece of soap, whatever it is, had poison in it. And that's why it was broken on the table, is because he was trying to get that piece out. So he was using, I guess, a fork to break the soap. The rest of the soap. Yes, that is our smoking gun. Yes. Yes. We're getting close. Yes. So, that means the soap that has melted and is on the floor should possibly have the substance we need to test for poison. This, without a doubt, is a vital clue to explain the Allemande Gas Company is being defrauded. Well, I don't believe it. Oh, and she's got stripes on her dress, too. So, your assertion amounts to what? That some inferior bar soap as a tentative connection to the theft of gas. Yes. The depression in the soap was clearly made by a threepenny bit. I must concur, at least, that pushing a coin with some force into a poor quality bar soap such as this is a remarkably simple way of replicating the coin shape. And then you could use some melted wax or some to pour into the mold. You could make 3 coins in no time. Yep. This brings all the pieces of the puzzle together. It's the method Mr. Shakespeare has been using to steal the gas. That's the missing link. And now, if I follow a chain of thought, is going to bring me to a new explanation for what happened that nobody's considered yet. But this is all nonsense. If the man had been making fake coins, my worker here would have found them when he emptied the meter. Quite true, Lady Voldemort. In the absence of some black magic that could make them disappear. Van Zieg's like... Van Zieg knows. He knows. He's like, fuck, you're right. You're right. Fuck. I see. That's what we're dealing with, isn't it? There is one form of black magic that could cause the fake coins to disappear into thin air. Yes. Damn it. Exactly. And the meter here gives it away. What the... Buying wine glasses incoming. There are remnants of the magical method used visible in the gas meter taken from the victim's room. The defense will identify these remnants for recorded voice. Where on the meter can the remnants of the method used to make the fake coins disappear be seen? On the bottom of this thing here. No, I don't wanna. Yeah, I get it. Okay, where's that? We found this bar of soap at the scene of the crime, just outside the victim's window. Outside? Yes, outside, where you yourself, Mr. Meataman, were loitering in the freezing winter air. That's where we found the soap. Ah, I get it. That's right. The answer, of course, is ice. Oh! That makes sense. No, it would be... Yeah, ice. I guess that works. That would work a lot better than using other soap or using wax. And if it's snowing right now, yeah, all you have to do is put some water in it. And then put... Oh god, they're gonna... But they're gonna blame it back to Natsumi again. Because where would he get the water? Mr. Natsumi brought the tea, which is water. Oh god. Oh no. Oh no. Mr. Natsumi's gonna be blamed for it though. Fuck. Did you say ice? Mr. Shakespeare has been leaving soaps like this outside his window each evening, filled with water. After a night outside in the bitter cold, the water is completely frozen solid the next morning. Then he takes his fake coins of ice and feeds them into the gas meter, giving him light and warm space. As his room becomes very comfortably warm, the ice is now inside the meter's coin box melts, turning back into water, and draining harmlessly away through the small hole made in the other side of the meter. That is how, without leaving any evidence of his wrongdoing, this man has been stealing Almond's gas. Just like that. So simply. Is he trying to make us look like idiots? He's been fooling us all with some bars of soap and some water. That's right, madame. I don't believe it. It can't be true. Nobody had how much money was spent to develop a new meter. And you have the audacity to suggest that a bit of soap and some water can render it totally useless. I'm fairly certain I didn't design it. Evidence. Sorry. I want evidence. If you're going to stand there and tell me all meters are rubbish, I want to see proof. She's very good at enforcing accountability, isn't she? The picture. Very well, Lady Element. If you like evidence, I'll provide it. What? Mr. Naruto, are you saying You do actually have evidence to support this theory? I did notice a trace of something that bothered me a little at the time. And I have a feeling that this theory we've come up with now could explain it. Piece of evidence to substantiate the theory about the Mr. Shams here, and the gas is in the picture.
Take that!
Take that. This is a photograph of the scene at the point where the victim was discovered, taken by Inspector Gregson, and it clearly shows the remnants of the crime carried out by Mr. Shamspeare. What remnants? Right over there. Here you can see the gas meter on the wall in Mr. Shamspeare's room. Now, look closely at the floorboards directly underneath the meter. Yeah, boy. What is that? Some kind of grubby stain? Most certainly, it's a water stain resulting from the liquid that drained out of the hole made in the meter. Oh! If one coin gives around 2 hours of gas usage and the occupant was heating his room in all his waking hours, we can imagine he would have used around 10 of his fake coins each day. The melting ice inside the meter's coin box would have been dripping out almost constantly, leaving a stain on the floor. This is awful. And there's further evidence too. Mr. Shamster slumped over his table, apparently having consumed, strychnine. And right there next to him is a bar of soap broken in half. You're right. It appeared to me then, Constable, that the man was eating the soap, see? Pardon me for disagreeing with your lordship, but certainly not. He didn't beat around the bush there, did he? In truth, Mr. Shamster was found with a fork in his hand. Bit of soap is sounding increasingly likely. I'm going to say he was using that fork too. Yes. To extract a frozen coin from the bar of soap. Ah, but the bar of soap broke in half. So perhaps it didn't go very well. Gracious! Yeah, he didn't even pour himself a new glass, I don't think. He just had a new bottle and he's just like, not even gonna open it, nah, just eat. Lord Van Zeeks! I was throwing my hand up in despair, and happened to catch my hallowed bottle on the way. Pray forgive my adroit mistake. What is the meaning of this, counsel? Allow me to pose my learned friend a question. What exactly did you establish with your most recent cross-examination? Well, that Mr. William Shamspeare is a liar and a thief. In other words, that his testimony is unreliable. That's it. That's exactly it. Very well, let us assume the man is a liar. Now allow me to pose another question. What possible difference does that make? Well, we know that suicide can be discounted. Scotland Yard's investigation revealed no sign of another vessel that contained poison. And on the night in question, there were no visitors in the room except the accused. The young man Gasman's theory, which we have no reason to doubt, has confirmed that. Furthermore, the only possible way the poison could have entered the victim's body is via the tea. The board has seen no evidence whatsoever that suggests otherwise. Even if William Shamspeare is the liar you claim him to be, these facts have been objectively established. There's no escaping it. Ugh. Therefore, in light of these facts, the prosecution calls for immediate adjudication. You... What? Order! Counsel, that is the defense report. Mr. Naruto, what was the point of that last cross-examination? Did it actually get us anywhere? Or did it make no difference at all, like Lord Van Zeek's saying? Raise an objection. No, this isn't over. The defense will not rest. What? Counsel, you successfully explained everything. You've identified and substantiated the unscrupulous method employed by Mr. Shakespeare. And Mr. Shakespeare to consume their gas. What more is there to discuss? Lipman Zeke just highlighted 3 facts in order to make his point. But contrary to what he would have the court believe, not all of them have been objectively established at all. What are you trying to say, my Neapolitan? At least one of those so-called facts is an assumption, made due to a lack of evidence. But the situation has changed now. Following the cross-examination of the latest witnesses to take the stand, the absurd. What is this nonsense? Yes. When you bring everything we've learned so far together and consider it as a whole, it's clear. There's a question that we now need to reconsider, namely, what is the poison in the tea? Someone's tired. I know. I woke up really early and I couldn't get back to sleep, and I don't know why. Like, I don't know why I woke. Oh, I do, because I still have my alarm on for my usual when I need to wake up for work. But I don't know why I couldn't just fall back asleep. I don't know. Whatever. We've all been led to believe that the strychnine poison that afflicted Mr. Shakespeare was in the tea brought to him by Mr. Natsumi. But that's conjecture at best. The victim has testified that nothing else passed his lips that night. There was no other possibility. And since there was no trace of the tea left at the scene, it couldn't be tested for traces of the poison. Ew. As I said, the situation has changed, because in fact, some of Mr. Natsumi's tea was left at the scene. And a particular piece of evidence proves it.
Objection.
A ludicrous claim. Scotland Yard detectives investigate the scene exhausted. What evidence are you suggesting they missed? The person made a bold claim indeed. Very well, counsel. Present your proof. What evidence from the scene of the crime can you tell us about the nature of the defendant's tea? Evidence from the scene of the crime can tell us about the nature of the defendant's tea. What evidence from the scene of the crime can tell us about the nature of the defendant's tea? I need to save first. That's what it means. I need a quick save first, but I think it's the pictures of the cups. What evidence from the scene of a crime can tell us about the nature of the defendant's tea? The nature of the defendant's tea.
Take that!
Oh, it's supposed to. Mr. Natsumi's tea capsule. Well, I suspect it may possibly be related to the tea in some small way if we dig deep enough. Yeah, I messed up. Nope, that's not right. Okay. That's not right. That's not right. That's not right. Alright, let's try the picture.
Take that!
Nope. Okay, not that. Okay. What evidence from the scene of the crime can tell us about the nature of the defendant's tea?
Take that!
The soap? Goodness! A soap again! The same bar the victim used to fashion his coins of ice. Yes, that's right, my lord. It's just come back to me. So think about when we first found this bar of soap at the scene yesterday. It's more bars of soap. So what are bars of soap doing lined up on a ledge outside the window? I'm quite certain that when we originally stumbled upon the bars of soap, there was actually a frozen coin in each bar. So you discover the gas seems coin vector. Fascinating. In a way, yes. But there's more. The coins we found in the soap at the time weren't normal ice. There was something strange about them, you mean? Exactly. Something very obviously strange. They were red. The ice was red. No, you mean... That's right. It's obvious to me now. The fake coins in the soap were made from frozen tea. What? Yeah, but then that still puts the blame on Mr. Natsumi! Oh, God! Ryunosuke! That still points the blame at us! Mr. Natsumi... Oh, no. Remind the court of a statement made by Mr. Natsumi early in this trial. Good evening. Yes, I did take some tea with me when I was in Mr. Shemsu's room as a gift. Like water outside always freezes at night, so I bought bottled water, especially like it. This is the result. When I touched tea again. Oh, yes, believe that I've been responsible that day. I was particularly cold. Sadly, on such occasion, the poorly constructed water mains in the east end of Scarpone freeze. So, on the night in question, Mr. Shakespeare, having no running water to use, was forced to use the tea brought by Mr. Natsumi in order to make his fake coins. My word! This isn't helpful! There were 2 bars of soap in the window ledge by my judicial assistant, and I investigated the scene. That's right, and we only borrowed one of them. Which means that even as we speak, some of the defendant's tea is still present at the scene of the crime, frozen solid in a bar of soap outside Mr. Shakespeare's window. What? Earlier today, Inspector Gregson informed the court that if even one drop of the tea remained, Scotland Yard would be able to analyze it for poison. As such, we are now in a position to prove or disprove what has until now been mere conjecture. By finding out for sure whether or not Mr. Natsumi's tea actually contains strychnine at all. You smug Neoponese. My lord, we cannot do the defendant the injustice of passing judgment now. The police should be dispatched to recover the remaining bar of soap from the scene at once, and the defense requests a thorough analysis of the frozen tea embedded in it to determine whether or not it contains any poison. Bailiff! Instruct the police to attend the scene. Yes, my lord, understood. Okay. Interesting. I assume we have no choice but to suspend this proceedings for the time being. I trust you have no objection, Lord Vance. None, my lord. Scotland Yard will recover the tea from the scene and turn out the question to the Saint House immediately. Trial will resume at the same hour tomorrow. Prosecution and defense may conduct further investigation as appropriate in the interim. Yes, my lord. Well, we managed to scrape through there somehow. Go counsel. Court is adjourned until tomorrow. Oh man. It's a bit early, but would you want to stop here for now, or do you want to continue? What do you think, Scott Bud? Buddy, pal, friend? We can quit? Yeah. One second, I'm tired. I keep yawning. Plus this is a very good spot, but so the only thing is I'm just like, what's gonna happen? Because the only thing that could be possibly have gotten him poisoned, as far as we've been able to tell, is if he used the bit of ice as a coin into the thing, it melts and falls out. And it's just a little like, wait, what happens? What's going on? I'm assuming we're gonna find out more, and I think we're gonna probably go talk to Miss Green again, hopefully, because I would like to talk to her very much so. I feel like she's involved somehow. Yeah, we're missing a piece. We're missing a crucial piece. There has to have been someone else there. There had to have been. Because the Mr. Meter Man has no reason to cause harm to Shamspear. Don't know why Shamspear would try to frame or try to hurt Mr. Natsume. I don't think, like, Mr. Shamspear wouldn't really get anything out of it besides the fact that he's being put suspicion for his own crimes, like for stealing from the gas company. So why, it doesn't make sense for him to make a big whole thing going on against Mr. Natsume over difference of opinions about Shakespeare. Like, I don't think that's worth risking your little scheme to be found out. So it doesn't make sense for him to be doing it himself. And obviously we know Mr. Suzuki, we're defending him, and he has no reason to do any sort of killing as well. Like, yes, there has to be somebody with a motive. Nobody has a motive. So we need somebody with a motive, and I believe it's gonna be Miss Green. No, Suzuki is just cursed. Yeah, he's just plain cursed. He just has some bad luck, it seems. Don't know why he has so much bad luck in England, but he does. I'm also very curious about the previous person who stayed at the house that died. I'm very curious about that. I don't remember if they had discussed that in the previous thing with Mr. Natsumi. I don't remember. But yeah, there's definitely missing pieces, missing a motive for murder. I think it might be Miss Green. I feel like it's Miss Green. Purely on the fact that with that photo that she had in her hospital room. Purely because of that. It just seems to fit. Plus, they're both fans of the arts, it seems like. He's into theatricals, of course. On the stage, stage arts, you could say. While she's more of a physical artist, making, I think, paintings, I think she did. Yeah. Yeah. So I think something's with that. Something with her, I think. Because we do know she was, and also there wouldn't be anything. There would be no reason also for Mr. Gerdeb, the owner of the building, to kill one of his own people and staying in his house. Like that. No, he already has a difficult time finding people to stay at his building. Why would he kill off a person? That doesn't make any sense. So I think because besides for, like, the Garrett family, Mrs. Sozeki, Mr. Shamspear, I don't think anything has to do with the police, the kid from before, well, not kid, but young couple with the police guy who had moved the crime scene from one street to the other, so he didn't have to, so it'd be off his beat. It doesn't seem like he's involved. We've not heard anything this whole time about him, so I don't think he's involved at all. I think he just had to do with particularly what happened with Miss Green. But besides for those people, for the Gyarados, Sozeki-san, Shamspear, the Bobby and his wife, which do not seem to be involved in this situation, it would be only Miss Green. She was seen outside that building. So I think she has done something. Possibly she was on her way to do something. And that's when she had the situation in which she got a knife in her back. So then when she got better, when she woke up from her little snoozy, or little coma, she decided to go with her plan that she had beforehand, but could not come to fruition until after she got better. That's my 2 pence. That's my 2 cents on my thinking of what is going down. So I'm excited to find out the rest. I am excited. So excited. I'm getting way too good at these games. Like, it sounds like very much a bragging, but it sounds just like I have a problem. Yeah, we'll find out next week. Next week on the Great Ace Attorney Chronicles. We have played a lot of them. It's just like every little tiny detail, particularly with Ace Attorney games. I'm just like, what is that little detail there? What is that? That's relevant, isn't it? It's relevant. I know it. Oh man. Especially the one where it was about like the photograph things, where it's like one was ever so slightly different than the other one. That in particular is very like, and I couldn't do the thing where I could cross my eyes. I can't do that. But I was just like looking back and forth, like what's different, and was able to tell that these little things have been moved. I don't know. It's very silly for me. I think it's funny. Anything else to say, Scott, before I finish off? Any words of wisdom? Okay. Well, you have a good night, Scott. Let me get out. Wait, let me make sure I saved. Double check I saved. Good night. Yeah, it is Saturday tomorrow. Okay, quit the game. Quit the game. Yeah, I don't. Yeah, I did save my game. See ya. So me. Ooh. There's some music playing while we finish off the night. So that's gonna be it for the night. Thank you for hanging out. If you did, even for a second, like the one dude, what was his name? What was his name? Real Matt Engard. Thanks for even just saying one little thing. I don't know who you are. Oh, he has his profile picture is oh, it was in the second game of the first 3 Ace Attorney games. I I don't remember the character's name, but we were defending him. Phoenix Wright was defending him, but he was actually the bad guy, and he was working with the killer who kidnapped Maya. That guy. That's fun. He's cool. It's cool dude. Cool dude. Let me see. Oh, he's streaming Ace Attorney too. Nice. That's awesome. That's great. I love Ace Attorney. Anyway, that's enough of me rambling on. Thank you for hanging out, watching, whatever's, doing whatever's, having fun. That's it. We'll find out more of what's going on in the Great Ace Attorney Chronicles and next week. Bye 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 bye. Thank you. Bye 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 bye. Good night. Bye 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 bye.